going on, everybody? I'm Jeremy. You guys are watching Inside the Coils tonight. We've got John from 121 Mutations. Now, surprisingly, this man is part of the PA crew. No idea why he wants to even be a part or associated with our crazy asses. But needless to say, he's lumped in with us. Poor guy. But we've got John backstage, so super excited to have him on. He's got some killer stuff. Plus, he's one of my TSK brothers. So you guys know we got to examtic everything, guys. Examtic everything. But yeah, so we're going to find out a little bit more about John, because I'm not going to lie, I don't know everything about John. So I'm going to be learning right there along with you guys. I do know, though, we will be showing off some killer animals tonight. So don't go running off to go watch the dumb football. The hell with the foosball. Foosball is the devil. But anyway, before we bring John out, I do have some quick updates. One, the carpet season is technically officially underway. I've started dropping the temps on the jungle carpets. So that's me basically ramping them up and getting them ready. Xena, I can never remember. Right there, which is now Xander, if for anybody that, you know. Anyway, Xander will be going over to Nathan's place here in like 2 weeks. So the scenery of who's up in there is going to change here soon. Because Xander's going to go over there, do some work, hopefully. Boy knows what he's doing, so hopefully he can get the job done with Nathan's girl. And then we're going to be bringing Celeste back up here from Chris at S Reptilia to see if we can't get Hercules, which you guys don't really ever. I can never see. I was right down there. Right there's Hercules. We're going to get him siring some clutches, hopefully. So we're going to give him a shot at the 2 lucky ladies this year. And we'll see how we do. Maybe we'll end up with 2.5 carpet clutches. Maybe we end up with 1.5. Maybe we'll have to see how it goes. Super excited though. And also this coming Saturday, folks. All right, I should have looked this up. I suck at remembering dates. The 23rd, we will be out at the Oaks Reptile Show. So come on out to the Oaks. I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do some special kind of like Black Friday pricing. Nothing crazy. But we are going to be dropping some prices on some animals just to see, you know, if we can entice some people to move some of the inventory here. Because I do have some more, let's see, Clutch 13. Some of them just took their first meal, so I want to make some space for them so that way I can get them out to the shows. So, yeah, so come on out. Buy some animals, guys. Buy some animals. I don't know how I still have. Like, my mind is totally blown. Still have 3 carpets available, like, and they're just drop dead gorgeous. Like, I think this week I'm going to put them up on Morph Market. I'm kind of foreseeing how many babies we could possibly be looking at for 2025, and we've got to move them out so I've got space for the new babies coming in. But anyway, make sure you guys come on out to Oaks. Or check out the Morph Market. Husbandry Pro Store is totally updated with what's available, so go on and check that out as well. But yeah, so without further ado, guys, do me a favor first. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And at the end of the video, or at the end of the live, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys all think. But let's go ahead and bring John out, and then we'll say hi to some of the folks that are in the chat. What up, brother?
Evening, sir. How are you?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. I am tired. This weekend was very Christmassy, and I've caught a lot of crap from friends for setting up so early for Christmas.
I've told my best friend in the world, he was putting up lights today. I was like, look, it is commonplace the week, either right after or after Thanksgiving. Don't do it before because I don't want to talk to you. So,
you know what? The sad thing is, I always used to be the same way. I used to think, who the hell sets up anything for Christmas before Thanksgiving? Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, this year, like I was just very amped up about Christmas, and
cool.
We ran with it. I know Kara loved it. Hadley absolutely loved it.
That's awesome.
So, needless to say, we're all set up for Christmas. The show's also, I think, because we've got Oaks next weekend.
Right.
So Eric kills that weekend.
Right.
Following is going to be Black Friday craziness and shopping, and I'll be down at Nathan's
Do it all
that
online.
Saturday. What's that?
Do all your shopping online.
Well, see, I can't do that, man. All right. Here's the reason I can't do that.
Okay.
Because a lot of it's done through Amazon.
Like, it's
and I blame Amazon for the greatest store in the history of humankind closing. And for anybody that does not know, that is Toys R Us, folks.
Right.
Like, totally, I can 100% blame Amazon for Toys R Us closing. So, I have such a hard time. Plus, I like seeing things in person. I've ordered too many things, like,
I get it.
Action figure wise, and they're bent to hell. And it's just
I've gone as far as to buy online and then go to the store type of thing. If I bought my Chromebook like that, I went on, I don't know whether it was Walmart or Target. I bought it and I went and picked it up because I wanted instant gratification. I didn't want it to come 2 days later. I just needed it. And I get it, right? But it's just so nice being from the comfort of your own home. Just ship it to me.
It is.
Sent packages to family and friends over Amazon. I can't get there here. Merry Christmas, right? It's
that part is nice. That part I will say is nice, because then the shipping's all on them. You don't got to deal with any of it. Just
we should work with them to ship snakes. It'll be great.
I don't know, man. The way I've seen some of those people come up to the doors, like I think the package is still in the air while they're hopping back into the car. It's just kind of like, ugh. I saw one of them do that with the neighbor's package. I just looked at my wife and said, I'd be pissed. Like, I'd be wringing that driver's neck.
Right.
But let's go through here. Say hi to some folks, John. We've got Miggy's Morphs. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
I'm rapping a little.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Now that he's here and it's hot, I'm changing hats.
I was wondering how, like, as their thing is like, man, wearing a beanie in the snake room, that's a little toasty. That's right. A little toasty. We got James Perry, JNS Exotics. What's going on? Good to see you. Tara, Voodoo Doll Royals, one of the channel members and the deliverer of the Yoo-Hoo. One must not forget that Tara supplies the Yoo-Hoo for Gettysburg.
Nice.
So thank you very much, Tara. Good to see you. Matt Schaefer, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
That is my best friend in the world.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Matt, for tuning in. Great, always great to see new faces. Lindsay, we have not seen Lindsay in the chat this early in a long time, so she must be interested to see what you got to say, John. What's up, Lindsay? Good to see you, girl. Macomorph, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
Mr. Patrick.
Let's see here. Greg, another one of our channel members. What's going up? Scaled Paranoia. Hopefully we get to see you out at Oaks. Phil, I'm not skipping on it now, Phil. Like, it's in my head now. So if you switch it up again, dude, I'm gonna have to beat you. And I don't want to have to beat my friend. But if I do, and you wake up and you're one carpet short, I don't know what happened to it. Just saying. This sucker, he posted a picture of the first carpet he got from me from guess it would have been last year's babies.
Okay.
I swear. I know I say it every time, but I swear I gave the man the wrong freaking snake. That snake never should have left here. She's gorgeous. And I have seller's remorse every time he posts pictures. But at least she went to a good friend.
Right.
Let's see here. Who else we got? Brittany, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we'll get to see you out at Oaks as well. Derek, DNK, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Sean, Pine Joy, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Let's see here. Who else we got? Oh, snap. Charlie coming out of the woodwork.
Mr. Charlie.
What's up, Charlie? Charlie, I gotta say, I did. I give Charlie a lot of crap about this 15 minutes of lame stuff that he's part of. A lot of crap. And the man still is friends with me. But I will say this. He is so, how do I want, creative. And edits amazingly. I have no idea how he edits the stuff like beyond my freaking abilities, you know.
He did a great job. So did Reagan. Reagan was the star though, not Charlie.
Dude, kids always outshine. Kids always steal the thunder. Like it's just how it is. But absolutely, I do enjoy the reels, Charlie. So that being said, everybody, go over to what is it, fatmannation.com or something like that. Go wherever you have to vote for this 15 minutes of lame thing, which shows everybody probably shows my colors on how I feel about on some of this.
Charlie, put it in the chat, Charlie.
Yeah, yes, Charlie, put it in the chat, bro. But go over, give Charlie a vote, and give him a vote for me.
And give him a vote every day until what's it?
Yes.
Christmas.
And Christmas Eve is the deadline because I was talking to him because we're going to be having Charlie on one weekend in November, or not November, December. November's almost over. He's going to be on in December. Not just to talk about the 15 minutes of lame thing, but just to see what he's got going on, what's cooking. And I think I might make that one my special Christmas episode for the sponsors as well.
Extravaganza.
Yeah, well, dude, the sponsors have no idea what's gonna like. All I can say is I hope to God they love me by the end of it, because we're all gonna be laughing. Hopefully,
if they don't, there's probably going to be a spot in all those logos somewhere. It's fine.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, everybody go and vote for Charlie. Show him some love. But yeah, Charlie, post the link for that in the chat, dude, if you can find it quick. Brian and Holly, Sky High Morphs, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
Evening, guys.
Let's see here. Let's see. Sean says, vote for triple R every day as long as you post an IG story to remind me.
Right.
Marino, you already know ball pythons. Another new face. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight.
Marino's great, people. He comes every couple of weeks, gets some rats from me. He's really good dude from North Jersey.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Greg, another one of our channel members. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Hope you and TJ are doing well. So let's go ahead. We'll run the first channel sponsor, and then we will get this show on the roll.
Awesome.
Let me see here. Let me scroll all the way down here. All right, here we go.
Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is your guy to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. On top of it, he's working a bunch of awesome ball python projects. Kahua geckos, Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, some scaleless corn snakes, and he is your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. So check him out. Check out Chris Shelley over at S Reptilia if you need a high-end ball python, blood python, locality boa, or colubrid. He's also Pennsylvania's distributor of Coco to Go and the Chipper, and he can also hook you up with some rats. So make sure you guys check out Chris over at S Reptilia.
Go ahead, everybody. Make sure you guys give the OG sponsors some love because those two are the OGs. Greatly appreciate all their love and support. Let's see. Oh, that's right. It always screws me up because Scaled Paranoia Greg is also a channel member. So when we're in the chat and like our member chat talking, and I say Greg, both of them respond, and it's just like, crap, I should have been more specific as to which one.
Right. I know 1,000% all of that too well. We had 6 Johns in my elementary school. All of us had our last initial after because they would say John and we would go, yes. So I get it.
Well, then we also have that in the PA chat too, because we've got you, and then there was KL Constrictor John.
I don't know him that well. I've seen him kind of chime in every so often, but I don't even know if I would know him if I bumped into him at a show. I
I think he was having some health issues going on. I'm not going to dabble into it because I don't really know what all was going on. But I know he was having some health stuff, so that's kind of like why I don't think he's as active as he would normally. I know he was going to some of the he came to the first barbecue. I know he went to some of the other get-togethers, but then I think something happened with COVID and he got sick from that. And yeah,
I hope he feels better.
But anywho, all right. So John,
yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in northeastern New Jersey. Lived there up until about a year and a half ago when my family and I moved out to just outside of Bethlehem. Wished I had done it 20 years ago. Wouldn't have afforded me to do it, but wished I had done it 20 years ago. It's beautiful out here. Love it. Far enough away from the hustle and bustle of North Jersey. And luckily for me, my real job affords me the opportunity to work from home primarily. I go in now that my home base is Edison. I go in maybe once a month, once every 2 months. But luckily for me, that's an opportunity. I don't have to drive. So that's primarily why we did it. But as far as the snakes go, I like many others, bought in and around COVID, being at home for 18 months. I said, let me give this a shot now because I wanted to do it 20 years ago. It just wasn't the right time. And not to mention I had one snake, Mr. Eric. And I've had reptiles throughout my life in different phases. But as far as, starting up a quasi business, it was started in and around COVID. Started out with 2 snakes that I bought. And I don't know if you know him, Jason from Canadian Reptile Adventures.
That sounds familiar.
He did videos with Brian Rivera for quite a while. Canadian Reptile Adventures. He's a good dude. The shipping process was very, very weird because it was like astronomical to get them shipped here. It was a couple $100 per snake. Started out with 2, and now we're north of 100 with this year's babies. So it's been a ride, man. Those roller coasters.
Oh yeah, dude. And here's the funny thing too. Like as far as like the roller coaster stuff goes, like I know people always ask me, well, how many snakes do you have? And I just look at them and like, oh, I have no idea. They're like, how do you not know how many snakes you have? I was like, I don't think you realize it goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up and it goes down.
I used to think people were nuts when I would say to them, how many snakes do you have? And they were like, I have no idea. And now I'm like, well, carry the 1, divide by 6. Like, yes, it's true. So I get it, right? If you know, you know, right?
Yep. I was gonna say, I always tell them it's somewhere between 100 and 200. I was like, I don't know the exact number, but it's in that neighborhood.
And if it's north of that, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Oh, I know one thing, dude. Like, I don't know about you, but it is hard to limit your holdbacks.
It is.
You don't realize how rapidly your collection grows until you sit down there in your snake room one day and you just start staring at everything that's about ready to come of age to breed. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, wow, like,
right.
I held a lot back.
Super hard. I get it, right? Like, I get it completely. And this is my 2nd year producing eggs. I'm coming up on that where hopefully this year I'll have a female that I bred and I produced that'll give me eggs this year. It's hard. I have a couple firsts that I kept that are males that I won't breed, right? But if everything is sentimental, I'm going to need a new house and a new garage and a new, right? Like you have to kind of find those sentimental animals, and then the rest is okay. Next,
that's where I've had like I have like some sentimental stuff, but then at the same token, it's like, you know what? We gotta be realistic. Like, we're in this. Yes, we love what we're doing. We love the animals, but if you're obsolete and you're taking up a space for something that would make better use of it, it's the harsh reality. It's like, you know what? We gotta set you out to pasture somewhere.
Right. And one of the coolest things I ever heard. So I'd seen him on a podcast. I don't know if you know Mike Porter from Porter's Pythons. He was saying they were talking about just this, like, you know, do you keep everything? How do you limit? Right. And he was telling a story with his daughter who said to him on a newly hatched snake, Daddy, what are we going to name it? And he said, for sale, move on.
For
Perfect. I was like, oh my God, that's great. And I always remembered it.
Dude, that's funny. That's funny. I like that. I like Phil's thing here. LOL. More space equals more snakes. See, that's where my mind's at, Phil. I mean, I've got the other side here that's getting worked on for the expansion. So that means more space, a lot more snakes.
Right.
Now, I'm being smart about it, and those lot more snakes are basically all carpet pythons. So it's limiting how many more snakes I'm adding. But if you guys all know my obsession with the carpets, it's just bad news.
I'll tell you what, like, you had said it before about TSK Xanthic, right? But I have seen some absolutely gorgeous Xanthic carpets that I'm like, oh my God, and I pull back. I'm like, no, I can't get another breed because they're beautiful.
Dude, something with, and it's just like, I don't know if it's Australian stuff in general, but it's like everything from Australia is just better. I don't like, for instance, like I'll use my gelatin for an example. It is not Xanthic. That snake looks more Xanthic than any Xanthic ball python. Like it just.
I believe it.
The albino carpets look better than an albino ball. The actual Xanthic carpets, like you were saying, like it's just, I don't know.
I've been trying to figure out a snake that's like a showcase snake, right? Like a green tree, an Xanthic carpet. Do I get like a Bredley or a Crebo, something? But I think the route I'm going to go is I really want a really nice pair of ornate Uromastics.
Okay.
Either that or those Borneo earless monitors. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but the problem with the Borneos for me is they're like quasi water dwelling. They have like an amphibian, like a salamander newt kind of setup where they can go into the water. And they're beautiful. They look like mini dragons. But I don't want to kill it because I don't understand the whole subaquatic, right? They breathe underwater something, or they don't breathe underwater, but they spend a lot of time underwater. I just don't know enough about them, but beautiful animals.
That's the, like, you don't, here's the thing, like, I think no matter what, obviously breeding's in your blood.
Right.
I think no matter what you get, it's not just going to be a showcase animal. You're going to start breeding because you're like, you know what? I want to make more of these.
Guess what? Now we have 2. Now we have 12, right? Like,
yep, exactly. See, that's just how it goes, though, dude. That's just how it goes.
But we'll see. I luckily for me, the house we moved into, I pretty much have the whole basement for
nice
animals, and and I can kind of see fit where things are. I'm even probably this year going to put in a closet incubator. I'll make it a full closet incubator. Not that I'll ever get
that'll be nice
800 clutches, right? But at least I don't have to say, oh my God, I have 12 now. I need another incubator. So I think this year at some point I'm gonna call up a friend of mine. Well, I don't know if I can consider him a friend, but he's a very good businessman, Sebastian from Showcase Serpents. I've been down to their facility and they put in a closet incubator, really pretty. So I might even kind of lean on him for some ideas and some what not to do's, right? Because I don't know the first thing other than heat tape and a thermometer and hope the heat stays in.
I was gonna say a walk-in incubator. I mean, it's a badass idea.
Right.
Like you're saying, I would have to get someone that did it and knows what the hell they're doing,
right?
To trust them, because
and
I wouldn't trust myself doing it.
And that's what this is all about, right? Making networking, making connections, helping somebody else out, and having somebody help you. That's all this is about.
Exactly. Nathan, what's up, dude? One of the OG channel sponsors. Thank you very much, bro, for tuning in. And to this guy here, Chris, S Reptilia, the OG channel sponsor. Thank you very much, bro, for tuning in. Good to see you. Dalton, what's going on? Good to see you as well, sir. That catches us up with who all joined in. Phil says he could build a walk-in. There you go.
I'll give you my address. Come on, let's go.
Say, dude, Phil would make it not only a walk-in, but he would wire it so that way it's solar driven, and
I like that. That's for me.
The whole house. Your whole house will be running on solar power before you know it. Once you get Phil up there,
that's okay.
Let's see here. Kent, what's going on? Look, Kent says, "What's good, PA fam? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Good to see you." Brittany, another channel member. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Hopefully, we see you out at Oaks. We'll have the last 3 available carpets out there, so stop by, check them out, take one home.
Nice.
So let's see here. I actually wrote down notes this time because I wanted to make sure there were some things I wanted to make sure I didn't forget.
Sure.
Because sometimes I get a little off track, and today was one of those days where I would be scatterbrained.
Cool.
So how did you go about getting in as far as like the pace of what you grew the collection? And then when did you start making those purchases on those investment type of animals?
So, like I had said, I started, and again, I don't want to start, 7 years ago, but 20 years ago, I was watching Cabelcon, doing some videos, Ralph Davis's Flatline video. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but that would, it looked like an Enchy yellow clown python 20 years ago. And he did it in such a way where he showed a video, it was just tubs, and he had one open and he panned into the tub and he just showed the snake for half a second. And then he didn't tell anybody what it was. Right. So there was a lot of hype about it on like ballpythons.net and whatever. And then, like I said, when I started again, I started looking in and I'm like, oh my God, Justin Cabelca's still here. And there was so many different things because the things I was looking at for like $5,000 was a pastel and a spider and people were making bumblebees and I wanted a bumblebee in the worst way. So fast forward 20 years, I was talking to my daughter and she fell in love with the blue-eyed Lucy. So, and her name is Lucy. So I set out to make her a blue-eyed Lucy, but I didn't want to just make a blue-eyed Lucy. So I bought 2 lesser clown ball pythons to make a blue-eyed Lucy and make lesser clowns. I ended up not, but that was the start of it. The 2 lesser clowns from Jason from Canadian Reptiles. And then I went to the first PA show, which was, I think it was Hamburg.
Okay.
And I ended up picking up a blue-eyed Lucy for her because seeing all these animals, I was like, look, I don't want to get into the habit of just making blue-eyed Lucy clowns that I know are not going to be clowns. Like they don't look like clowns.
Yeah,
right?
You're not going to have the visual effect. Yeah.
Right. So I bought her a blue-eyed Lucy and I said, here, this is yours. And this is your pet. And then I ended up purchasing a set of gravel Enchy clowns from Adam at Morph by Designs as a package deal. And she gave me 7 eggs this year. She didn't go the year before. She was that size, but she reabsorbed. And then she gave me some banger animals that I can show that I fell in love with. but that was kind of the start of it. It was Hamburg, and then going to another show, meeting people, shaking hands, buying another animal, right? And just figuring out this process of what you want to do, where you want to go. Do you want to, what project do you want to be in, or projects, right? Like, I don't think any of us are in one project. And more and more as time goes by. But I just, I fell in love with it, and I don't know, there's more than 31 flavors of ice cream in this industry, and I'm in for all of it.
So when did you start making those big time investment animal purchases? Right?
Well,
you said you started around that COVID time, so you've had about 4 years roughly, dabbling here. So what year was kind of we're gonna take this, we're gonna do something with this, we're going in?
My fourth purchase was those 2 Gravelenci clowns for $6,000.
Okay.
So right then and there, and I told my wife, I'm like, look, I was like, I'm going to the show with a bunch of thousand in my pocket. Like I'm out of my mind, but okay, right? Like I'm the kind of guy, either I do it or I don't. And I was kind of all in. So from that Hamburg show, I didn't know where I was going, right? I just knew that, and some people looked at me a little funny when I told them what I spent, but here we are. And the market has certainly changed, but that's how it started. My biggest purchase was probably my zebra project. I wanted to go all in on one project, something a little higher end, something that not a lot of breeders had gotten into. And I'm kind of a gambler. I take chances on stuff, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we'll see what happens.
Now, when you bought into the zebra project, what was your animal ratio, male to female? Like what exactly was your first purchases for in getting into that project?
I bought just the female at the moment. I bought a visual. And this is another story for another video, another episode. But I bought what I thought was a super pastel zebra hypo.
Okay.
And I was going to grow her up. Knowing a little bit, I didn't want to buy a male and a female and watch them both grow and have the male just sit there, right? So I ended up, buying a female, waiting a year. I was going to try to go a DGTSK Xanthic male for that zebra. And I couldn't make that purchase happen. I had talked now you had him on last week. I talked at length with JD, and just, it didn't work out in one way or another. So what really set me off was I ultrasounded that zebra female, and she was at 16 millimeters.
Okay.
And I freaked because I was like, oh my God, like, what do I do now? Because I didn't have the male set up. So I called Adam Chesla in a tizzy saying, hey, I need a breeder male now. Like, send him to me. I'll put him in the quarantine rack together. And I actually got eggs from her the first season. I got 6 eggs, all females, all visual zebras. And I thought I had a Partho clutch.
That was just what I was just going to ask you. Was this a Partho?
No, it wasn't. So, because I thought she was a super pastel zebra hypo, she was a head hypo, but there was pastel zebras and supers. Can't be, right? So, and then I was like, oh my God, I just hit the lottery, kind of. But I kind of wanted as a super pastel zebra hypo male, right, to replace the male that I had bought, but it didn't happen. So it is what it is. But I ended up increasing my zebra stock by 6. So now I have 7. That the animals that I produced last year are hovering around 800, 900 grams at the moment. And if they don't sell, I will breed all of them this next year, probably next year.
No, I feel you on that one. Like I'm gonna be having, kind of same boat. Some girls that are, it's good next year. It's gonna a lot of cool stuff gonna be for next year's. Now, what other projects are you in other than Zebra?
So I have a lot of clown scattered throughout the collection in different codons, different females. I ended up buying a Krypton male from Charlie at Reagan Renee to help get Krypton into the collection with the females that I have. But my direction is still going to be Zebra. I'm still going to go the DGTSK route in a variety of different ways. That's my goal. I also brought in Sunset. I have a GHI Sunset male. He's bred and he's given me eggs this season. I'll show you a baby or two later. I have not hit any visual sunsets yet. But hopefully this coming season I will.
Okay.
But this year was primarily about the super gravel clowns. Some hets again, which I'll show you, and the folks, and getting some codoms into Zebra, and then I had a possibility to hit super chocolate hypo clowns.
Ooh.
I missed on the hypo clown, but I hit a super chocolate Mojave clown head hypo that I'll show you.
Okay.
And I hit a hypo, but the odds weren't very good to me, but at least I have some options. And those were, I ended up having 7 clutches this year, 3 the first year. I had 1 clutch completely go bad this year on me. The eggs didn't even make. They went complete. They molded out after like 35 days, whatever it was. And that was my first foray into this. Like, I saw a little mold. I'm like, oh, okay, that's okay. And then a little bit more mold. And I was like, oh, this is not so good. And then like a week later, it was just green and
just nasty. Yeah.
And then I ended up pairing for double het sunset clowns. I ended up getting, again, 7 eggs from them, but 6 went bad in a variety of different ways, whether kinked, they didn't absorb the yolk, one was like messed up, right? I froze most of the clutch. I ended up getting 1 female, a normal double het sunset clown female with a little bit of shark mouth, but she won't eat on her own. I'm force feeding her. I'm hoping one day she just eats.
Figures it out.
Right. But I wanted to get sunset into clown. And I wanted to get some other things into some other things, which I'll show you. But those are my projects: is Sunset, Zebra, Super Chocolate. I really, after hitting this Super Enshi clown, I want to, in the worst way, put Exanthic into it.
Oh, and everybody, you will get to see this animal, and I wholeheartedly 100% agree.
Right.
Like,
because
definitely.
And even after hearing JD talk about the colors, right, of Exanthic and how they change, like, I'm going, oh my God, it's going to be a complete white snake, right? Like yep. I'm trying to see with what he was calling those Exanthic glasses, right? Because
yep.
my biggest fault in this industry is I have a hard time seeing genes.
Yes.
Because I'm not in it for 25 years. I wish I were, but like, when it's easy things, fine. But if you start talking to me about what I see in Pied or what I see in, DJ Xanthic, red stripe, yellow belly, spot nose, I can't. Yep. That's why you have guys like Charlie, where I'll just send them the shed.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. But like we had said earlier, you have to limit yourself, but it's hard too, because I'm finding out the odds are not in your favor. So you have to have that breadth of females. So you try, and that's why I'm grateful for the 6 female zebras, because now I can do
now. Yep. Now you can kind of ensure Yeah, unless the odds gods totally take a crap on you, that
Hey, at that
it
point,
can happen too.
if I have 8 clutches of it and I still don't hit it, well, okay,
Yep.
right?
And dude, like it's been 2 years of going after the Exantic clown, and every year, well, the first year I didn't even hit a visual of either an Exantic or a clown.
I'm sorry.
This year, I at least hit one clown and I hit one Exantic.
Okay.
So I almost got it. I just can't make them connect. So this
Right.
year, like you were saying, with having all the zebras and stuff sitting there ready to rock and roll, I made some purchases, set myself up for this year to where, unless the odds gods completely slap me in the face
Right.
and don't even give me the luxury of baby powder, like,
Vaseline.
yeah, more Vaseline, what anything, like it just. Like I should be set to at least hit an Exantic clown one way, shape, or form.
Luckily for me, my first year of breeding, I ended up purchasing a male double visual clown pied from
Okay.
Showcase, and I bought a female that was a double head, the mom of that animal, right? As a package deal to try and get me moving.
Yeah.
I ended up producing my first double visual my first year. I ended up hitting a clown pied when they were still like up there, right? Instead of it's one selling for $287. But it's a little bit of a paradox animal, which is cool too.
Ooh.
But I ended up hitting a female. She's growing up in the rack. I'm slow growing her because I'm not really getting into the clown pied route. I'm going to try and put DG into it, right? Get an animal. Maybe I even try the TSK with it, right? But I'm just slow growing her. I'm not really driving her like crazy with food, but she's not going anywhere, right? Like she's my first double visual. And this is where I was talking about like firsts, right? It's hard for me to sell that pastel het clown first male, right? It was the first animal out of the egg. I'm not ever selling that animal. It has a home here forever. But I can't do that for every animal. So
I know let's see, my first season, I have still several of the animals I made my first season. The one girl, she's produced like 2. This will be her 3rd season breeding now.
Got it.
And she gives beautiful clutches.
No, it's awesome.
But the one animal I swore up and down I would not get rid of, I'll never forget, because it was a dream animal to produce of mine, was an orange dream bumblebee. Thing was absolutely gorgeous. Even when Chip Forsyth there was doing that, his little competition thing on his channel, Regisphere Pythons.
Oh,
He's doing the battle of the Morphs or whatever it was.
Right.
King of the Hill or something. King of the Hill. I entered that animal in. He picked it, and it actually ended up winning the whole way. Like,
oh, nice.
Thing was absolutely gorgeous. I ended up selling him.
I tell you what, those OD bumblebees are really, really pretty, man. Like, and
they are.
I made 2 spider clowns this year because I wanted to make a bumblebee, right? Like we were talking about my first 20 years ago, and I kept saying I want to make a bumblebee. So I borrowed a bumblebee het clown female from a friend. I ended up putting it to like a high-end male, and I made a bumblebee clown. I just wanted the non-clown, but I ended up making the clown, and that she'll stay with me now too. But she's also double head DGG stripes, so that helps. Right?
I see, and that's like I've got the one fire zebra bee that I've made. I've never kept one of my zebra bees that I've made. Never. Kills me every time I make them. I told myself they had to be het clown in order for them to stay. They were never het clown, so I moved every one of them on.
Right.
This male that I've made is just absolutely top notch, pristine, in my opinion. I mean, just as perfect as you could get. And of course, he's not het clown. So I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm tired. Like, obviously, the odds gods do not shine upon me on certain things. And I say you will be available, but you're going to have a price tag to go with the whole I don't want to see you go. So if someone wants you, you're going to have you got to pay the price.
Right.
At Gettysburg, I had a gentleman wanting to purchase that animal. He tried to whittle me down on the price, and I 3 or 4 different times I told him, it's like, sorry, man. If you want him, you're paying sticker price. There's no breaks. There's I told him flat out, I don't want to see the animal go.
Right.
This is one I would love to keep. So I'm just it's kind of there. If you want it, it's there. But, otherwise, more or less he's there just to draw attention almost.
Right. Right. Everything has a price. I brought 2 of my zebras to Scranton, right? I don't know if you've ever been to Scranton. So Eric,
no, I've never done Scranton show.
Eric from Drop Time was saying he asked me to kind of vend with him, and I brought some lower end animals, and I brought zebras just to show, right? And again, if you want to inquire and I give you the price, there's no haggling at that point, right? And I can appreciate you kind of standing your ground, and if that animal sold anyway, great, right? And you got what you wanted, he got what he wanted, and right, and you could always make it again. That's or try, right? That's what I don't understand. I understand we all think about today, but there's always tomorrow. If an animal, if somebody comes up to me and offers me something that I can't refuse, I will hand it to you and say, I'll make it next year or try.
Even if you don't make it the next year, at some point, if you try, you will make it again. It will come around at some point.
Right.
But it's hard sometimes to stick to the guns, especially. Oh, look, Charlie finally getting here with the link there for everybody. Go, everybody. There's the link. Go vote for Charlie for 15 minutes of lame.
Nice.
Excuse me.
Good luck, Charlie.
All right, let's go ahead and run another channel sponsor here, John, because we're over 40 minutes into this already. These things freaking fly.
While you do that, I'll put a snake in the light box.
All right, sounds good, dude. All right, here we go, folks. Here is the next line of channel sponsors.
Head on over to Triforce Morphs if you're looking for that missing piece in your ball python breeding project. While you're there, add a little bit of laser citron to the mix, folks. John and Christine can also hook you up with the crested gecko, so don't forget that. Turn up the heat with Triforce Morphs. If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you will not regret it.
Use that affiliate link, folks. Use the code Warfel60. Get that 60 days free trial. If you have any questions about Husbandry Pro, 1, I am more than happy and willing to help you out. 2, I have tutorials going over setting it up, getting everything up and running and moving. So there's no excuse. Just give it a shot. Use that link. Use the code. Let me know if I can help you out with it, folks.
And a big shout to Mr. Brett from Jersey, guys. I love that kid.
All right. Let's see here. All right. There is the camera. Let me get look at what John's got on the table. And yes, shout out to Jersey Guy Balls.
Yep.
They were out at Gettysburg. Look at them beautiful animals there, folks. Look at them beautiful anims.
So the one
some of these are on Morph Market, if I'm not correct. So
there's the one on the right is in Morph Market, and again, it's mostly I don't want to say just to show it off, but if somebody wants this animal, they're going to pay for it. Back to your original point, right?
Yep.
But this is what I believe to be a Super Gravel Super Enchi clown. It's got a ridiculous black, almost highlighter head stamp, and then that super gravel pattern all the way down. When this animal came out of the egg, there were purple and whites throughout it that it was unreal. And it's even got a mustache on the side that I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. That's almost
Try
one.
to focus. There you had it. As I say, it was focused on your wrist, but then it did focus on.
And then this one is what I believe the Super Gravel Enchi Clown. And those are from a Gravel Enchi Clown to a Gravel Enchi Clown. And her head stamp is silly. But again, both of these animals in TSK or TSK-DG will be absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, dude, I'm kind of in the boat there with John Digg on how, like, I look at something and my eyes just strip it away. I'm waiting for one of the PA crew here to make a jab at me saying, that's because, Jeremy, you just can't see it color to begin with. But that is not true, folks. I do see color. I just don't. It's just limited sometimes in what I'm seeing color-wise. But I am blessed in the fact that I can look at things and kind of visualize what it's going to look like in Exantic. And definitely the one, John, that you want to hold back would be the killer in Exantic.
Right. And then
the other one would look good too, but the contrast of the other one is right where you want it.
Right. And this girl's in shed a little bit, but this is a single gene gravel. But look at the side pattern on this thing. It's like silly. I've never seen a gravel clown that looks like this. And that would make sense with what it does with the super, right? So, but she's in a little bit of shed. It is what it is. But that's the kind of stock that I got from Adam from Morphs by Designs. And his animals are two of the most friendly. I can hand them to anybody. I took both of them to do a show and tell at my daughter's school, handed them to teachers and kids, and well, not so much kids. I was a little worried about kids getting bit, but it was mostly
rightfully so.
But that's the gravel Enchi Clown project. I'm really excited. I think this year I have to decide which way I'm going to go. I mean, those animals aren't going to be ready for 2 years, right? Well, not the male. The male can go, but the female's not going to go for 2 years. So I have to figure out, do I do TSK DG to that female that produced them, or what I do? I don't know. I haven't 100% decided yet. But that was that Super Gravel, Super Enchi, and even the other one. When I cut the egg, I was jumping out of my shoes.
I bet, dude.
Orange. So,
all right, dude, I would have been ecstatic. Kike, what's going on, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you and the family are doing well. Still sending you guys prayers beyond belief.
Agreed.
Hopefully everything's going as good as it can down south. But good to see you. Hope everything's going good, bro. And I do want to say this. Kai, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the chat. Sorry I didn't get to say hi to you earlier. At least I don't think I did. But another one of the channel sponsors. Kai says auction starting price.
Right. I agree. This is
Phil's making jabs at me. Jeremy Brown is a nice color, I guess. Phil, come on now.
This is Super Chocolate Mojave Clown I talked about earlier. If she will stay, or he will stay still.
Dude, that thing's nuts.
A little bit in shed. But
now, did you say that was het hypo?
Yes.
Dude, I got the perfect female for him.
Bring it on.
Chocolate hypo, het DG clown.
Bring it on. I actually have a male. The father to this clutch is a chocolate clown het hypo I produced as a joint pairing with a buddy of mine. Like I said, I was hoping for a double visual, but this animal's beautiful. Even as a base, right? Like I didn't expect it would look like this with those little like hieroglyphics going down, and the high white up the sides. I didn't expect that from a super chocolate. I only ended up hitting one clown and one hypo from a visual het to a double het and 8 eggs, but I hit a pretty nice one.
See, I'm not gonna lie to you. My eyes take that thing right into Exanthic too.
Right.
That, I mean, it's already partially there to begin with, but I mean that in itself would look absolutely astounding in Exanthic.
And this girl looks like mom to that clutch. So this is a chocolate Mojave het clown. She looks just like mom did when she was a baby. Mom had a little bit more dark along the dorsal, but exactly the same. The alien heads were the same color, except for that like dark outline. It's the exact same snake. So
I like on how how chocolate's helping to reduce the Mojave in that.
Right.
It's spacing out the pattern. Like it's just a very nice little touch with the Mojave.
And there is no better for me a hypo in chocolate.
Dude, I will say this. I 100% agree with you. 100%.
And this was the only hypo I produced.
Okay.
And he's not happy ever. I'm surprised he isn't biting me 12 times already.
Oh, he's a little bit on the feisty side. Pope County Python says grandpa.
Mr. Randy, how are you? So those are the kind of chocolates from this year. Chocolates, super gravel. Like I said, zebra. Let me show you something I've been kind of working on all year. I was going to keep it quiet. I don't know if any of you follow my Instagram page, but that is a GHI pastel double het zebra sunset pos het hypo.
Damn.
And I hit
a nice little package in that little one.
I hit 2.6 in double het. Charlie will be getting all the sheds to see if anything is hypo, or head hypo rather. And I hit one male GHI pastel and one male pastel. So everything is staying here. And hopefully in 2 years I hit zebra sunsets. And even maybe zebra sunset hypos.
That is nuts, dude.
And like some of the patterning, because I don't know, for those of you who have sunset, it gives some visual representation with the hat. Like I have some het sunsets that are much more red in color than like a normal. So even this blushing on the head is a little bit more reddish pink than a normal GHI pastel. But then you get the visual representation of the het sunset to the het zebra with the banding.
I was just gonna ask because like normally GHIs aren't as banded as that, so that's right. The zebra kind of showing through then.
Right. Hold on, I want to find the one that I love the most. Hold on, because we all have favorites, right? Is it this one? I don't know. There's so many. That's a female. But like the blushing on the side over that zipper pattern, it's pretty silly. I was super happy with this clutch.
Dude, I would have been just happy because of the sex odds. Right. I feel as though like I have clutches. If I'm looking for a certain thing as a holdback, it's always male heavy, and I miss on what I wanted to hit as far as where the male or female lied on the combo. Right. The fact that you hit 2.6,
I did.
Freaking.
This is the male. Sorry, I had them mixed up, and it doesn't really matter. But the pattern, the color, I wanted to, and like I had said earlier, I wanted to go DG TSK with the zebra. Didn't work out. And then I had the GHI Sunset, and I said, you know what? I'm doing it. And again, gambling, it could be awful. I don't know, but we'll give it a shot.
Well, one, you don't know, like you're kind of starting to go into uncharted territory with the project, though, too.
Right.
So you could hit the next best thing.
I could.
For the next big thing, and the whole like everyone's beating down your door and all that good stuff.
Right. Or it could look like dog crap. I don't know.
Or it could look like dog crap. Yeah.
I hope not. You don't know.
For your sake, dude, I hope it looks fantastic. I will openly say I'm not the biggest Sunset fan. That being said, though, there are some Sunset combos I have seen that have made my jaw drop.
But could you imagine that with Sunset on top of it?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. My eyes don't do Sunset. I don't have Sunset glasses.
Got it.
I see that, and I like my eyes just automatically just turn to black and white. It's an illness.
Right.
But that is absolutely freaking fantastic looking there.
And then this, don't bite me. This is the this is a head hypo. Hold on. Let's do them side by side. Look the same. Once she's not as clean, but she's head hypo. The left is not. They're getting to be 850, 900.
I said they look like they're getting up to that, just about that breeding size here within the next year.
And then you have just pastel on top of it, and a little bit dirtier. But I just love the I love the fact that these get brighter every shed. These retain their color. My female, who was 2,000 grams, the Super Pastel Zebra, had hypo. I think for some reason she's got another color enhancing gene somewhere within her, because the left animal is just so clean compared to the right. Yeah. And I don't think it's the head hypo. Something else is there. But
I mean, it could be that, which it would not surprise me. But at the same time, it might just be one of those things where it's just an outstanding example as well.
And then that's blackhead, high OD, yellow belly, head zebra.
Now it'll be interesting to see blackhead in with zebra.
Yep. That was the pairing I did for some of the codoms with zebra this year. Was a blackhead, high OD, yellow belly female to my pastel zebra.
Okay.
Somebody's peeing on the stage.
Now, I'm going to stir the pot here on you a little bit, John.
Yeah.
You probably saw this coming.
Yep.
Zebra versus McKenzie. Your thoughts? Same, different? What were your thoughts during the whole big debacle with it? I guess it's still technically unsettled yet, but it's got a little bit more ground with it.
It is settled to an extent, I think. I think Charlie has said publicly that they don't test the same. That doesn't mean they're not, right? But they don't. The genes don't test the same.
Correct.
I don't know a whole lot about McKenzie, right? I just know what I know about zebra. Looking at both and now, if I had a slew of McKenzies here, right, I could tell looking at them. Again, there's expression with everything. We all know this.
Yep.
Do I truly think that they're the same? Especially after Charlie said what he said? I don't think so. I didn't think before, but I probably had some bias there, right? I spent a good amount of money on zebra, right? Did I hope to God that they weren't? Yes. I was like, please don't. If either that or I'd buy all the Mackenzies. I don't think that
every birthday wish of yours was, please, I just don't want it to be the same.
Right. Get back to 0.6 zebras, make Mackenzie and zebra not equal the same. I just don't see it. I don't see the same characteristic traits of like that zipper on the back. I don't see the wishbone head because they have like this distinct, like this animal has a distinctive lightning bolt on its head. See the neck? I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. Let's do this. It's got a lightning bolt, like it's split.
Okay, yeah.
Anywhere. And a lot of the animals that I see that are zebra and even hets have that split.
Okay.
Mackenzie does not. What's the other one? It was Mackenzie and there was one other that was like questionable if it was the same.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just the McKinsey that was the questionable. There was another one.
I forget what it is. It's it'll come to me in a minute. But I just
Cosmos something, was it? I'm trying to think of like the newer Cosmos.
No.
Okay.
There's Mackenzie, there's Zebra, and there was one other. I forget. But the other one,
Miggy's saying Striker. Is that it?
Striker, and that's even less known than Mackenzie, I think. I just don't see it. And if I saw it, I would love to say that I could sit here and be like, no, they're not the same. Again, if I saw similarities, I would say it. I don't see it. And with that being said, I'm glad that they didn't test the same. I sent Charlie all the sheds that I had, hets, zebras, all of it. And then he texted me about a week before he said so live. He was like, "Hey, they're not testing the same at all. Don't say anything because I want to make sure I'm going to run about 40 more tests." And he did. He didn't have a single Mackenzie come up as either het zebra or zebra. If I were a betting man, I would say zebra is more like a codom and a super and a recessive, just because of the visual. Like there are animals that I produce that have such banding, and don't bite me. Oh, you're crazy and shit. Hold on. Let's do this. There are animals that have a lot of zipper banding starting as a head. So that's a head.
Okay.
And like, see how the back start, like if I put a visual zebra next to it, you'll see a lot of the same.
Yeah.
Right? And it's hard to tell. So any shed that I get that could be a head or a visual goes right to Charlie. He's got the test. Here you go. But like getting yellow belly in, seeing flames up the side, I don't know. I think I hit one blackhead, but I might have hit two because blackhead's funny. Like blackhead and OD look like a brighter normal sometimes. And I just don't know. And unfortunately, Charlie doesn't have blackhead yet. So I'm kind of like, but again, I'm not letting most of those go. Maybe one of the heads. But it's fun just hitting new things and trying to figure out what they were. I had a hell of a time figuring out the pastel or super pastel zebras. And it's 3 different options. So it's just fun, man. Every cut of the egg, every pip, the whole hatching reminds me why this is stupid cool, and just it allows me to bring my daughter and walk through reptile shows, meet you guys, right? And she loves it. So it's a bonus for me that I get to kind of teach her some things too, but hitting something new. And I'm not one of those guys who has to, oh my God, it's a world's first. I don't know if I've ever said any of that, but I love the fact just doing something out of the ordinary.
Well, just working with something like zebra where it hasn't been done a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, it's neat because you are on that forefront of seeing uncharted territory, animals that have never been seen, or if they've been made, people might not have, showed it off yet.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just neat to be on that part of, the project. I mean, I'm sure that's how Nathan feels with the bang stuff. Like, I mean, he's doing stuff that the world has never seen.
Right.
And the downside of it is, you might hit something, you don't know what the hell you hit, and you got to hold on to it and try to figure out what in the heck is going on with that animal.
And Miggy and I have had many conversations about this and whether or not I should show the GHI pastel double hets, right? Like, or should I keep it back? Should I stay quiet? And then 2 years, if I hit it here, right? Like, the same is going to happen. So I said, you know what? Like, and one of his statements to me lately was, I don't think you talk about zebra enough. And I agree. So that's why I think I showed those animals off and what I paired and right. And this way, in 2 years, if it looks like dog crap, I'm going to say this looks like dog crap here. But if it's a banger, which I can only hope, I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to be jumping out of my jeans and my shoes and my hat and everything, because I saw what the sunset puzzle went for, right? And I can only assume if the same holds true, and maybe he even hit a zebra sunset hypo, right? So I don't know. We'll see.
If you would nail that, I would love to see what that looks like. Like, I think that would be phenomenal. I do think, though, like, people started doing new projects, uncharted territory type of deal. I get why people keep quiet on some things. I mean, some people might be shocked. I mean, unless you're close into my tight-knit group, you don't really know some of the things I've got going on over here. But, am I doing it any justice by keeping it quiet? I don't know.
Because, like I said, with that Ralph Davis video, Flatline, I still remember how much hype it brought and how many people said, what is that? What are the genes? He wouldn't say a word. It went on for like a year.
Oh, wow.
I still don't know what was in that animal. And it was just, like I said, it was a 2 or 3 minute video where this song was playing. He was walking around his collection of racks and racks and tubs. And then there was one open tub and it looked in and there it was. And then he cut it. And it brought a lot of hype around what the hell is that? And it was around the time of Spider, Pastel, like Mojave, right? Like, and here you have this... what, right? Like, and that's what I think it's all about, is that next. But today it's hard to get that because even the imports are thumbed through first. So you're never going to get really a super one unless somehow you pay to have them go out and find you the next best thing, right? But it's cool, man. And unfortunately for me, I've never had anything except for that zebra where I think there's a color enhancer that I'm not sure what it is. But I've never had like I bred a clown to a clown and I got a hypo TSK clown, right? Like I've never had a weird gene.
Something, yeah.
Right. I'm not that lucky. I'm not that lucky.
Dude, join the club, man. Join the club. I will say this, though. There isn't enough of people talking about zebra, and I think you do it justice by talking about it, because just like people are here and now, me talking with you at shows and stuff, you are super passionate about the zebra project.
Love it.
And I feel as though when people are super passionate about things like the zebra, me with the TSK, or even the carpets, like that's the stuff that brings those things out into the light, and then people, they get hooked on your hype.
Sure.
And that's what stirs up a whole lot of feelings, and people started looking into it more. And then when they finally decide, you know what, I'm going to jump in on this,
right?
Boom, they're going to go to you.
I've had multiple conversations, and if she's still here, Brittany from Fire Baby, about zebra, and I feel like she's getting tired of me, but like I just like it. I like that it's new. I like a lot of people aren't working it. Guys like Steve's Morphs. I know Justin just showed a zebra clown, but it had Enchi in it, so I don't know how much that just made that back stripe. But we'll see. I mean, if anybody's going to have like something out of the ordinary, it's Justin. But I know Steve's working a lot of codoms. And I've had multiple conversations with Steve at different events, whether it's Tinley or Arlington. He too is like super, super passionate about it. What are you going to do next? Where are you going to go with it? What do you want to try? Right. Like, and again, whatever you like, go do.
Yep. Right. Now, what are some of the genes that you're excited to get as far as your incomplete dominance? What do you want to see most in the zebra stuff? Like,
I wanted to see blackhead because I knew it wouldn't be worked like right away. That's why I put that. And the blackhead Hyode yellow belly girl that I had, I didn't quite know what to do with because she's gorgeous. She's heavy black, heavy orange. I won her in an auction. And then when I was doing the whole zebra thing, I said, oh, and she became a size. I was like, zebra. Like, and I ended up hitting one blackhead Hyode yellow belly. And this way now I can say, okay, now what head zebra or what zebra am I going to put to her and move it forward, right? Like, because you want to do everything, right? I think blackhead is one, Xanthic is definitely another. I know not a lot of people, but the people that are working zebra are doing DG and clown, which is why I said, screw it, I'm going sunset.
Yeah.
Because again, even the DG TSK I've heard said, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something and grow up some animals that nobody's doing. I talked to Adam Chesley. He said, nope. I talked to Morph Jungle. They both said, nope. I texted Steve. He's like, no, I haven't done that. Right. So guys who are in the project are not doing that. So I wanted to go uncharted waters. I definitely want to do DG TSK. I definitely want to do some clowns. I think with the banding, and she's going to have a big role, what you see and where. So if you do something like I don't want to go to pattern mutation because I don't know, like clown is going to be the true test of zebra, I think, because so many people are working it, right? It's so dominant. I didn't want to do anything like a puzzle or anything like that would want the pattern in a different way. And it might be really cool, right? Put a confusion into zebra. What happens?
Dude, confusion acid, dude, that would probably be killer looking, but it might get rid of that main drive to it, but I think that would be crazy.
That's what I mean, right? You don't know. I've also seen some acid G stripes that are absolutely gorgeous. You wouldn't think that the acid would do something to that pattern, but it does. So again, I think the main ones for me are going to be color, and that's why. And luckily, Sunset is both color and the pattern, and that's why I kind of chose it. But I think DG TSK hypo are going to be ridiculous. Oh, right, a True Ghost Zebra DG is like what? Like, and again, that'll be nuts. If I can find it, I'm bringing that in to put to 1 or 6 females.
Yeah,
eventually.
John's on to something here too with make it like a tiger look. Like, I mean, if you went with like Hyode or whoever it is that has that,
well, that's why I want
orange Hyode. That would be crazy looking.
Right.
it would probably accomplish that orange look.
That's why. Hold on. I'll. This is the female that I put into the zebra, and you can tell me whether or not it's that IOD. So this is the female of the baby I just showed with the blackhead IOD. So that's why, like, I wanted this orange.
Yeah.
And she's got that contrast. The orange isn't as bright on the camera.
But the black, between that and the blackhead, the contrast pops.
Right. But that's why I want. That's exactly the reason I chose Sunset, because I wanted somewhat of a tighter look.
I'd be interested to see if it actually will hold. I think the thing with Sunset that gets me is that I've seen too many animals not hold that orange color. They some of them really brown out like bad. Not all of them, right. But I have seen some really killer Sunset combos where they just look out of this world orange.
And what I can tell you is every animal that is shed, whether it's het zebra or zebra, has gotten brighter as it sheds. So I'm hoping that orange doesn't blow out, it doesn't brown out, right? But again, time will tell. And there's your Exanthic stuff.
I was gonna say, if John ever goes to get rid of this girl, I am stealing it. So I call dibs right now.
And that's from JD stock. I don't know if, and again, listening to your video, I don't know if this is dark phase or not. Like I said, when we talked earlier today, I had never heard that. But I looked at her old pictures. They are nothing like what she is now. She had all this black, was like white, and there was like a black outline. She is turned 100% into almost a black snake.
I was say, if I was a betting man, dude, like I told you earlier, I think she is dark phase.
Maybe.
I honest to God believe she is.
But she is cool. And I think she'll be in that, in some way, DG, TSK, hypo, zebra. But she's just stunning to open up the tub. Even when I showed the kids, like I put a zebra next to this, and they're like, oh my God, I really like the black and white one because it's different, right?
Yep.
It's not the run of the mill like ball python. It's just,
just at shows, the animals that I have noticed from my display that stops people or the things that nobody else is seeing on the tables.
Right.
The Exanthics and the carpets. That's what stops everybody. One of those two. Right. And it's kind of a 50-50 toss-up as to which one it is, but it's always one or the other. It's not, any of the other stuff that looks like the bananas aren't the showstoppers. Even some of my more expensive stuff isn't the showstoppers. It's the Exanthics or the carpets.
Right.
Like you said, people aren't used to seeing it.
No.
I think Exanthic's been overlooked big time.
And if you've never seen it,
yep.
When I walked up to John's table at Arlington, I was like, holy Christ. It's just complete black and white. It's cool to be like, oh my God, that's got fire. Oh my God, that's Mojave. Like, and he was so meticulous with just staying that black. And even when I reached out to him about the DGTSK, we were talking, I said, hey, I hit 6 female zebras. Do you want to do a trade? And he said to me, John, if it doesn't have het TSK in it already, I don't even want it. He's like, because now it takes me 5 years to get me where I want. And I said, I can appreciate all of that. But there's a method to his madness, right? So, but he was unlike any other vendor or ball python breeder that I've ever seen, where his stuff was just completely black and white.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And he's one of the reasons why I want to go TSK. I mean, no shade to VPI, but I just I like the look of TSK better. That's not to say it's better or it's wrong or VPI, but for me, everything I've seen screams TSK.
I'm with you on that one. I think John nailed it. The way he approached that when I asked him about it was a very valid point that I never thought of, is that because there's not as much TSK being worked, the line is a little bit more refined still. Like it hasn't been muddied up a whole lot.
Right.
Where there's that much VPI that people are just throwing anything to anything, and it's kind of muddying up the waters a little bit. There's still that we still have that quality control with the TSK stuff.
And honestly, like I had said before, nothing pops up in my collection, but I didn't expect this, right? So, and again, I'll send you a picture or show you at Oaks over the weekend what she looked like before, and it's night and day. So what is this going to do when I put TSK or hypo into it? Or right, like I was talking to you about what Chad had at his table, that vanilla, TSK, hypo, right? Again, if I think if that was DG or DG had hypo, which would be astronomically more, but that's what I need to be 3 years ahead.
Yeah.
Versus right. And that's what it's all about, time versus money. Because I'm 50 years old. I was thinking the other day and hearing other people talk about what do I do with my snakes if I get sick, or right, like, but I'm 50. I'm not 20.
Yep.
I don't have 30 years to see this to DG, TSK, hypo, zebra in 15, 20 years. I have now.
Yeah.
So I think if I need to pay a couple 10 1,000 instead of 1,000, I'll do it because it'll get me where I need to be.
And plus, it puts you. I mean, Ken here it hits the nail right on the head. Pay money to save time. That's exactly. It's a trade-off.
Right.
I mean, time is money, and if you want to save the time, you got to pay up. But when you do that, you also get ahead.
I've also had animals who I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to save all this time, and then they don't eat. So there's also a variable.
Yeah.
Right?
Then there's
like, son of a, like, okay, we'll go slow.
There's always that, that one that kicks you right in the groin. I mean, it's just right. Yep. It just always gets you. Let me run another channel sponsor here, John. Actually, we're going to run two of the spawn. Actually, I'm going to just go blow through, run all three of them real quick. So you got about a minute.
Stop wasting time trying to prove out animals or taking chances on possible heads or genes you don't know that are there. Head on over to Charlie at Gray Rider Reptiles and ShedTesting.com for all of your shed testing needs. He's fast, accurate, and adding new tests on a regular basis. So head on over to ShedTesting.com and check him out. Make sure to use the code CARPET15 for 15% off of your shed test order. Use nothing but the best at ShedTesting.com. Are you ready to take it to the next level? Then check out DTMG Pythons. Danny is best known for his awesome clown ball python projects. This year's focus is Confusion, Hurricane, and Disco Inferno clowns. He also specializes in high-end crested gecko morphs such as Exantic, Lily White, and Exantic Lily Whites, along with the Deadpool line of gargoyle geckos. Check out his morph market and Instagram, DTMG Pythons. Just buy it. Lucas Landon Royals produces some truly high caliber snakes. Kai has been breeding ball pythons for 6 seasons and counting. He's working toward multi-recessive combos such as DG Clown, Hypo Clown Pied, Sunset Candy Pied, and DG Exantic Pied. He's working with several other species of snakes, but next year he's going to start breeding Boa Imperators, and he also has a small group of super dwarf retics. So be on the lookout for some super dwarf cow retics. Become a royal at Lucas Landon Royals.
Make sure everybody you go down below. All of these sponsors links are in the description down below. Use those codes, especially with Charlie over at Gray Rider Reptiles, ShedTesting.com. Guess it's just ShedTesting.com now because I think he just dropped the Gray Rider part. I think it's just ShedTesting.com.
It is.
But go use the code CARPET15 15% off of your order, guys. 15% off of your order. Save that money. Save that money. Save that money.
And
Let's
Charlie
see.
is a really stand-up dude.
I will say this. I trust no one other than Charlie to do the shed test.
Right.
I'm not going to go dive into that wormhole because it is a wormhole I have a hard time getting back out of. But just use Charlie, folks. Just use Charlie. Let's see here.
1,000%.
Ken says that he can save money, but buying time and gambling on the market is worth it. See, that's the one thing it is. And here's the, like, everybody says, you know, I can get why people would be afraid on dropping big money in the market the way it is right now. And I will tell you this much. The market isn't that bad. I think you've got to work a little bit harder to make the sales. I mean, like snakes just aren't flying off the shelf. You got to do some of that salesmanship. But people are still buying snakes. It might not be the crazy pricing,
right?
But they're still buying,
right? I think sales are still happening. Where I think people are more apt is a lot of people are looking to trade because if they're not making any money, right? Like you don't want to just keep putting money out, and that's a lot of the conversations I've had about, hey, do you want to trade this for this, or I want to get this into my project, but I don't have the money, right? Like, and I get it. My thought lately is I want to, like, even with the zebra, I have a couple of zebras up, but now that I made a couple hets, I'm going to pair a male and a female, do like a male at 140 and a female close to 1,000 grams to say, hey, you could breed next year here, right? Like making it easier for them down the line versus, oh, just buy a female and then a male later, right? That's where I see a lot of people going is that male and female pair, one smaller, one bigger, and seeing if they can make it. Because that's one of the things I didn't understand when I came in. I mean, I knew you had to wait a couple of years, but to know like how it works, get a female big, get the highest end male that you can, and then put it into the project, right? I bought a male and a female, and I waited for them to grow up, and then I bought more snakes. And that's the one thing I think I would have changed was the process of figuring out a male that will work multiple projects, if you can.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, and I feel as though that's like kind of where I missed slightly on certain things. Like my males are very project specific. But in the end, the way I'm being specific in those different projects, it allows me to also have a better outcome when I go to merge them all together. If that makes any freaking sense at all.
Oh, it does.
Like they're going their own separate direction, but by going the separate direction, it all comes into the common goal at the same time. Right. It's neat to see it all happening firsthand here. Put it that way.
What I think I would have changed a little bit too. I would have maybe gotten to quad het a little bit earlier in certain projects, and then hit a couple, because again, like a quad to a quad, you're still getting a double with 1 out of 8, right? Like you can't pick it, but now you're still making doubles or hoping you hit doubles, right? And you still have those animals. You put those back to the male now you have better odds on those visuals. So that's where I think that's going for me in the triple and the quad for the DGTSK Hypo Zebra, is that I'm going to eventually do double the double and then hit the quad and then go down the path. Because you have to. Yeah.
Well, no, I agree with you, man. Like the DG Hypo Het Clown that I made this year, like by all rights, I mean, essentially, it's basically a normal. There's no other genes attached to it other than it's the double visual with the het on there.
Right.
My whole brain, the way I looked at that animal was like, I'm going to raise it up. When he's ready to rock and roll his first season, throw him into a couple of Xanthic girls, inject all of those into hopefully like an Xanthic that's het clown.
Right.
So I can at least get visual clowns that are double het,
Right.
and just that nice injection of all those three recessives, and then move them on. Like that's his only purpose, is to put those recessives into that project instantly, and then he's done.
Last year, and I wanted to show this animal, but he's locked up with another female at the moment. But last year, I had gone to visit Sebastian at his facility to pick up an animal too, and he said to me, "Hey John, you grow your own rodents?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I was wondering if you could help us." He goes, "We're having a problem with a blackhead DG double head G-stripe clown male that A, will not eat frozen thawed, B, we don't grow our own. So now I'm having to pick up more like mice to force feed them, whatever. Would you mind taking them and helping us?" And I said, "Sure, give them to me. I'll bring them home with me. I'll get them set. I have ASFs, whatever." Okay, terrific. So as I'm feeding them, 7-8 weeks, Jeremy, on the floor with this thing every couple days, right? Wouldn't eat on his own. And this is a blackhead DG double head, right? Like, and it's pretty powerful. And he's beautiful. Yeah. And after 8 weeks, my daughter's with me, and I'm like on the floor with it again. And I put I saw him do this, and I was like, and I put the rat down, and I stepped back. I said, "Lucy, don't move." And he came up and he hit it, and he wrapped it. We screamed like little schoolgirls, the two of us, because this thing finally, after 2 months, ate on its own. I called Sebastian the next day. I said, "I don't care what you say. I don't care what you charge me from, but he's not going back to you, because now I've invested 2 months." And he was like, "No," he's like, "I kind of wondered if that's how it was going to go." And he had actually a triple visual that he had as well. Okay. So he's like, "We'll figure it out. He's yours. Have a nice time." Right. So like, helping people out also has merits. And I didn't expect to get into the DGG Stripe Clown project, and it just kind of, and then I'm like, "Oh, I need this female, and I need this female, and I need this female," right? Like, because now I have nothing in that project except for like clown. But it's been a cool ride. I have the male breeding now. He sired 1 clutch last year. He's going to probably sire 3 or 4 this year, because now I'm going to have double het single visual double hets ready, and a triple het ready, and we'll see what happens. If I hit, cool. If I don't, and that's the other reason I bought a red stripe. I'm not going to say all the genetics, but it was a Krypton double het G stripe DG from Charlie, from his.
I was going to say, is this one from Charlie? Because it's
right. But again, you need different sides to it, because what if the blackhead doesn't breed? What if the female doesn't like him? What if I didn't want the DG to be the visual, right? Like backing in other projects. It's fun to figure it out, and it's also nerve-wracking.
No, I feel you on that one, man. Now, I do have a question for you, John. With the zebra project,
yes,
have you thought about doing like zebra pied stuff, or are you afraid that would really, because of how pied screws up patterns sometimes, or is that kind of your like not wanting to dabble into it, or has anybody ever attempted that yet?
I don't know of anybody working it. That doesn't mean they're not. For me, I didn't really want to bring it into pied, just because I didn't know if it was going to be high weight, low weight, right? Like, it's never been done before. I used to be quasi in it with the clown pied stuff. I kind of started to get out of it, because my problem, like I said earlier, is noticing what genes is and what. And in pied, it's really, really difficult for me.
It is.
I will, weirdly enough, I paired my pastel zebra to a leopard DG het pied tonight, just to get DG into it, and the leopard codom. But it's also going to be passet pied. I don't know, maybe. But for me, pied is not on the roadmap. I might get there eventually, but I think it's going to be high weight because of the pattern. But who knows, right? Like, it could be no pattern. It could be a white snake. I don't know.
Okay. I know. I was sitting here thinking, it's like, if Pine wouldn't screw it up too much,
Right.
that would be kind of neat if you could have that zipper and then just
And
a
then
patch of white
on the bottom.
more zipper and then another patch.
Right.
Like, if it would just be a nice mid to low white, like I think that would be awesome looking.
Maybe.
But I did think about if it really overdoes it and you end up with like an all white snake, basically, that would suck.
Right. And that's where I don't mind trailblazing, right? But I don't want to trailblaze zebra with pine for me.
Right.
If somebody else does it and it looks really cool, okay, cool. I have a couple. I will maybe put a pine to my zebra, but I don't think that's the direction I'm going at the moment.
Okay. So I wasn't sure about that. Now, what if there was a species you could add to breed as as your kind of like your side project species, what would it be?
I wanna have those earless Borneo monitors in the worst way. Like
The monitors?
I don't want to kill them, but I think I'm gonna end up getting some either high yellow or ornate or high orange Uromastics, and I'll put them in a really nice, like big home for them. Put some landscaping, right? Something big and something where I can have a colony of like 3 to 5. And if they want to breed, so be it. So be it. But Uromastics, I think.
Okay. See, because the reason I asked that, I always think, and this goes back to something my dad taught me, was you don't always want to put all your eggs in one basket. Because I've seen at some shows, ball python, it might not be a ball python show, and people have other stuff on their table. That's what's moving. I know at Gettysburg, I don't think Chris moved. Chris, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong, bro. I don't think Chris moved any ball pythons at Gettysburg. I think it was all like bull snakes and other species.
Right.
So I've kind of, heeded some of my father's words and went with his advice to, okay, Kent says he sold pines. Okay. I knew it had to be bulls or pines. I knew he moved something other than balls. But
I think it's
always nice to have that other species on there just to, it's a little bit of, it makes people stop.
I think you've done yourself a really good service in incorporating the carpets. Because you can tell you're having fun with it. You're selling some animals, right? Which is great, right? I love green tree pythons. I just don't like getting bit by them. I've been bitten a couple times. I used to work with them in high school. And they hurt. They hurt. And it wasn't a python. It was a green tree boa.
Okay.
Man, and I think the only reason why I haven't gotten one so far is I'm worried. Like if my daughter takes a bite from one of them, she's gonna be scarred from it. Like a ball python bites you, it's like okay, it hurts a second, it's fine. But you get bit by a pretty big green tree boa, it hurts. They have fangs. It's not a little tooth.
No, they got some big ass teeth.
Yeah, and for a 230-pound guy to be fearful, I get fearful. That stuff hurts, man. I bleed and cry like everybody else. I'm good.
That's why, like, with the carpets, I always tell everybody, work with them when they're little. Mm-hmm. When they're little is the best time. You get it out of their system, make them learn, and snap them out of it while the bites are a joke. Because I took a bite from Xander the one night. I mean, it didn't hurt, but it was a harsh reality shock that, okay, there's a lot bigger teeth in there than what the ball's got.
I have 2 boas, right? So my male boa, I never had a problem with. He doesn't hiss, whatever. And I was opening his cage, and he like tucks his head out. And I was just tapping his head like I've done 1,000 other times to get him back in and push the thing closed. And he tagged me about 8 times before I could even pull my hand back. It was like bang, 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 all the way up my arm. And I sat there like, oh my God, what just happened? I had bruises, Jeremy, for like 4 days on my hands.
Holy crap.
That next show, I forget what show we went to. Lucy's like, what are we doing here? I was like, I'm buying a snake hook because that hurt. So I bought a snake hook for him because I'm like, I don't want you to bite me again. You bit me once, we're cool. Now you get moved around like this and you go back in your sting and I'm cool. Like, right. It didn't feel good. I'm fine.
I will say this: the hooks are a very important tool, even for especially like feed night with the balls. I use the hook just to pull the tubs open.
Got it.
A hook for the carpets.
Got it.
I hook train them all to where you tap them at the head. Like, you don't whack them, folks. Don't whack them.
Right.
But tap them on the head, rub them on the body, let them know that this is not food time.
I'm here. Right.
You're good.
This is not to eat. Right. Yeah.
Yes. But at the same token, certain animals are very smart. And once you get them into that routine, like the carpets, I don't mess with the adults at night. Because once those lights have gone out, like right now, I mean, if you look, everybody, they're all sitting because they're ready. They just ate Friday night. They're sitting ready to be fed again because that's all they think about, I swear. But they know that once those lights have gone out once, even if the lights come back on, anything that comes in now is food. I just don't do it.
And weirdly,
now, the babies, I'll do it, but not the big ones.
Weirdly, for me with the balls, like I have a bunch of females that kind of come out of the tub, but I'm far enough that just a lean back is fine. But that boa, man, he's long and he's strong.
That's the other thing. Like the length of strike that different species have too. Like the balls, they've got a short striking distance, I think. But carpets, boas, they've got a little bit more stretch. They're kind of like a slinky. They stretch out a little bit farther. Oh man. Everybody, if you guys do have questions for John, do not hesitate to drop them. I'm getting down here to my last little bit on the list. Nice. So if you guys do have any questions for John, do feel free to drop them in the comments, please. And if you're new, please hit that like button and subscribe.
And guys, if any of you don't follow me, please feel free on Instagram, 121 Mutations. I don't vend a whole lot. I think that's going to change in the future. But I do respond on Instagram and Morph Market. If you want to reach out, talk projects, I'll hit me up through DM. I'll definitely respond.
Oh, here's a good one. Brittany, I'll hit that here in a second, Brittany. Let me get to my last question here, and then we'll get to yours.
Awesome.
2025 breeding plans, John. Full speed? Or are you going about 2025 a little bit cautious? What are some of your big anticipated pairings?
A little bit cautious, but I don't know if I want to say cautious, but selective.
Okay. I didn't know how to, that was when I was figuring out how to word it. I didn't know cautious, selective. Selective was the better word that I should have used. Had come to mind, but
I think they're different, right? I think cautious is you're worried. Selective, you're sure, but you want to, right? I think selective, I don't, except for the bottom of the barrel where I would just say, hey, I'm going to pair everything. I'm not doing that. But the majority of my pairings I'm still doing and still moving on for the future, because honestly, if I don't, I'm going to kick myself in the ass in 2 years. So I think I'd rather have more than less. And if I make a move that's a little overzealous, so be it. I think it's I want to get where I want to get, and be damned if it doesn't happen. So
now, what's your most anticipated stuff that you're looking forward to for 25?
a couple of the DGG stripe clown clutches. I have one triple het gonna be going to Charlie's boy. So that's a red striped leopard, spot nose, possible yellow belly, Krypton double het DGG stripe.
Oh,
going to a black head triple head DGG stripe clown.
Okay.
I'm also gonna have my black head DG double head G stripe clown going to a hypo Enchi double head DGG stripe. Sorry, not DGG stripe, DG clown.
Okay.
And then it's dependent on the DG TSK male that I get. And that's going to happen this year in some way, shape, or form, whether I spend the money, whether I trade for it, or whether I decide to figure out how to CRISPR technology, put DG TSK into everything.
Yeah.
But I need to buy a male, and whether or not I buy it with head hypo or hypo is depending on pocketbook, because that would be the smartest play if I can find a DG TSK head hypo male. I don't know if I can find one.
I was gonna say you might be having a hard time with that one. I told you before, I will, fingers crossed anyway, I should have 2 shots at TSK DG.
Nice.
Maybe a third, because that one female, I got through the ultrasound to her. I actually went through and weighed her. Like, I didn't realize she was as big as what she was. Like, she's just a normal double head that I produced. But I was so focused on her 2 sisters that are pastel double heads, but her sisters already, like, when they hatched, they look DG. So, to this day, they still look phenomenal. So I'm there, like, I was so excited about those 2. The normal one kind of sat on the back burner, and I went through the one day, and for whatever reason, it just clicked. As I'm there thinking, it's like you're bigger than what I was thinking. Like in my head, like I shrunk her in my head. I threw her on the scales. I'm like, damn, it's like you're like 1,200 grams. It's like, all right, we might have 3 shots at TSK DG this year, maybe we'll see.
Yeah,
so I'll keep you on the DL or in the know on that one.
I think that's waiting to get the zebras up. I don't think they'll be ready this year. Who knows, right? If I see 5 or 10 millimeter follicles when they're 13 or 1,400 grams, they're going to get bred. I kind of primarily go off of that as my guide. I don't want to say I don't wait for them to hit, but lately I've been noticing if they're at like 13, 14, 1,500 grams and they start going off food, I ultrasound, and the next thing I know, I have 12, right? So you're going to get paired if you're at that level with me. I had that smaller blackhead Hyode yellow belly female drop me 5 really nice sized eggs, and they went fabulously. But that's where I'm looking at is getting that male and bringing the projects together, and then getting that super gravel stuff into TSK.
Dude, you definitely gotta you definitely gotta do that. Just I like the asphalt stuff. I wanted to go asphalt stuff, but super asphalt Exantic stuff, I mean, it's the same freaking thing, man. Like, absolutely mind-boggling.
It is
Freeway Exantics. I don't know if you've seen that Freeway Exantic. I forget who made it. If it was Powerline or somebody made a TSK Freeway Exantic. Thing was just blew my freaking mind.
I think
man.
The only thing I have seen is the super asphalt TSK. Somebody's got a pair or had a pair up on Morph Market. And I was like, and I don't know if it was VPI or TSK, but it was Exantic. And it was pretty, but it was just that base, no clown, no DG, no anything, right? But even that, you look at that pattern and you go, oh my God, this is cool, right?
Yep.
Like that black and white with the little dotted line is cool to look at.
Oh my God, yeah. So now Brittany's question, and this was a good one. I didn't think of this one. Good job on this one, Brittany. Where did you come up with the name, or where did the name come from?
So, a really good question. So, my birthday is January 21st. So 121.
Okay.
And I just added, I didn't want to do the whole balls thing, or I wanted to come up with something that talked about the genetics and the morphs and mutation seemed like it was less used than a morphs or a ball pythons, or so I chose mutations, and then I did one ONE 21 so people didn't say 121. Just
Okay.
every time I showed it to somebody, they were like 121. What does that mean? And I'm like, no, I can't. For my birthday, January 21st. Good question.
Dude, that's all right. See, we got another thing in common. My birthday's January 30th.
Nice.
My dad's was the 25th. So
Aquarian.
now I'm going to be able to remember yours.
Aquarian, brother. I'm good.
That's funny, dude. Winter birthday. I will say this: that winter birthdays suck. I had did you ever feel like you got gypped because Christmas was not that far? No, okay.
No,
I always had this thing in the back of my head that because of Christmas, your birthday got kind of looked over a little bit.
First off, I was an only child. Secondly,
you're lucky then.
I was an only grandchild. And
okay.
Yeah. Thirdly, they never made me feel like, oh, this is Christmas and birthday. They always did both because I felt like I was far enough away. I knew somebody who was December 25th and December 26th birthdays, and they always had to do like a combo gift from their family, and they were always like, "Oh, I hate my birthday." I never felt like that. You?
Okay.
How about you?
Well, I always had everything was always separated. There were, like you said, I mean, it was far enough away, but I always felt like everybody went a little overboard on Christmas. So when the birthday came around, it was kind of like, you just got all this crap for Christmas. Right. You don't really need all this other stuff.
One of the coolest things I heard, my best friend who was here earlier, I don't know if he's still here, his twin girls were born on Christmas. So what they always tried to do was they always tried to have a party in like August for them. Just so they didn't feel like I think they called it their second birthday or whatever. And it's good for kids, right? Like, because kids don't understand, like, why am I getting shafted? But like when you get older, you understand, like, hey, I just spent $1,000 on Christmas. Now I don't want to spend another $500 on your birthday. But kids don't give a crap. They care about what did you do for me now.
They're little, yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that instant gratification, that instant.
Yeah, that better not be socks. I want toys.
Oh, dude, I have messed with Dom a few different times with like just giving him like stupid gag gifts just to watch his reaction, and like I don't know if he knew what I was doing, but he never gave me after the first couple of years that I did it, like he never gave me the reaction I wanted. Oh, really? He was always, thanks, Dad, like never got wound up. And like, it was just kind of like, well, this sucks. Like this, like I'm not getting my gratitude. Like I wasn't getting the rise out of him I wanted. So I just quit doing it. It's like, this isn't fun.
He's in the corner like, watch this. Watch him get mad because I'm not reacting.
I know what my dad's doing. And that might have been the other thing too. I mean, he should have known by the time I was doing it that our whole family we pick on you, but we pick on you because we love you.
Right.
But the second you give that reaction, buddy, that is like blood in the water of the sharks. It's just a feeding frenzy after that.
That's funny.
And it definitely, he well played on his part. He's well played on his part.
Oh, that's awesome. It says a lot about him too, because if he meant it, right, that's a testament to you. And right. But I hear you. Like, you want to get a rise, and it's not.
I wanted the rise, man. He just didn't give it to me. It's just like, it's all right, fine, you win, boy. Like,
you got to do better next time, Dad.
See, now here's the thing. I can't do that though, because now he's at this teenage phase where he actually like. I don't remember ever wanting clothes as a teenager, but he does now.
Okay.
So like it's just completely. I can't go with a screwed up gift. I can't screw with you, man. Like,
you just got to find something that he's really passionate about and really kind of tweak it in some way.
Man,
if that's
what
true. Is, right? I don't know what advice to give you other than look at something he really likes to see if you can get a rise out of him.
Maybe tell him I'm going to get him a new car. Just wrap up a little 6-scale car and put it out in the driveway. Like, there it is, boy. Right. Oh, man. But, dude, that's going to be it, man. That's all I got for tonight. And actually, this is actually good timing because I've been trying to keep everything to 2 hours, and we're, like, nailing it on the head. Now, does anybody, before we kind of go through the ending here, does anybody have any other questions for John? Or is there anything else you wanted to show off, John, before we hop off?
No, I think
if there's something you wanted to show off yet, dude, feel free.
Yeah, I think everything I showed is my I kind of showed everything I want to do. I mean, there's drips and drabs of things throughout the collection that I could be here for 3 days, like everybody, right? But I showed the majority of the projects, a couple of the animals, and I didn't even think about this, but a couple of the animals I paired tonight because of follicles. The one I would show would be that blackhead DG double het because he's just ridiculous. The contrast to that animal is that's a really good one that might be in DG TSK is that heavy black, right? But I don't know. It might look a lot like what it looks like today. So that's going to be kind of gamble. But I've showed a good amount. I'm in a good place. I mean, I'm looking forward to this weekend. I want to see everybody. My daughter and I.
You are coming out to Oaks then, right? You're going to be all right. Awesome.
Yeah, We'll take a ride. Go spend the afternoon. Me and my daughter will go have lunch, and then she'll run around and offer zebras to people for $37, which is cool. That's how she met Brittany. She's like, Daddy, I was talking to somebody about your YouTube channel. I'm like, we don't have the YouTube channel. She's like, no, but you will. And then we'll give somebody a zebra. And I'm like, Lucy, like, I love that you're networking for me, but like, let's go talk together.
I will tell you this much, John. She has never offered me a zebra for $37.
Right.
I feel left out now.
We'll do it this weekend. It'll be.
I was gonna say when I see her this weekend, I'm like, hey, what's this? I hear you're peddling zebras for like $37. I'll give you 50, and we'll call it a day.
Probably because she thought you were somebody else once.
Brittany says she loves her,
and she loves you.
But everybody, that's going to be it then for us tonight. I do greatly appreciate everybody hanging out with us, tuning in. Please hit that like button if you have not already. Make sure if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We are here every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Unless there's something going on. If I've got like a 2-day show, then I kind of bump the show around. If I have a Comic-Con, which I was going to have a Comic-Con coming up, but it ended up that, it's a sore topic. I got to skip it, and it sucks because some of the people I will probably never get to see again in my lifetime are going to be there, and I just can't bring myself to do a show and then drive 3 hours the next day one way for a Comic-Con. Like, shows just take it out of me. I need that next day just to kind of sleep in a little bit. I got to be realistic on some stuff.
Wait till you get to be 50, brother. The getting old sucks.
Dude, I'm hoping, man. Let's see. I'm 37 now. I'm hoping in the next 4 years that I can just kind of kick back from my job and do the snakes in YouTube. That's my goal. That's my end goal with all this, is just do the snakes in the YouTube. If I've got to do rats, along with that, so be it. I can suck that up. But I'm just tired of doing excavating, man. Like, beating myself around, jostling around in a machine. I'm tired of doing it. So, I'm kind of ready just to I think and I'll be honest, like part of the other drive of that is I want to be able to enjoy more time with my kids. I want to be able to kind of go and like, if I want to go hunting, go hunt. If I want to go fishing, hey, I'm going to go out and go fishing for a couple hours.
We're talking about spending money to save time, right? That's all it's about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I feel as though I'm getting to that point where some things are headed. You know, I'm looking out there towards the future. It's like, you know what? I don't live a lavish lifestyle to begin with, so it really doesn't take a lot to keep me afloat. And, and within that time frame, I should be at a decent spot, you know, to be able to do that. And if I gotta get a part-time job, hey, maybe I'll go work at a pet shop and be like, oh, look, we need ball pythons. Hey, guess what? I know a guy. Here you go.
Good. Hey, first off, thanks for having me and us, and thank you for doing this. It was a great time, and thank you everybody for kind of looking in. Appreciate it.
No problem, dude. Like I said, I've been wanting to get you on, and I get so scattered brained. Like I have in my head, I have a list, and I just like. Sometimes I'll pull from the list and I'll just go completely left field and have a squirrel moment. Then I'll go back to I'm all over the place sometimes with it. And you've been on that list for a while. And it was just fine. It's like, okay, you know what? Damn it. We're doing this. We're getting it done. We're going to do it. and so I do appreciate you coming on, dude.
Thank you so much.
John, looks like everybody's loving the freaking show tonight. Greatly appreciate it, guys. Next, this week's video, folks, I will tell you this much. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to give you this week for a video. I have nothing filmed at all. I don't think maybe some of you guys have noticed that everything's been very recent, up-to-date videos. I have, like I said, I have nothing filmed at the moment. So I got to figure out what topic I don't even know I don't know where I want to go this week. One
thing I want to say, thank you so much for everything you do with the whole husbandry. Because I can tell you, having it's a little quirky at the beginning to figure everything out. What all this does. I don't use it a whole lot, but I have started to use it a little bit more. And just keep that kind of going, because I think it's a useful tool. And I think you're doing it a big service, because they don't have a whole lot of their own. So
maybe that's... You know what? That's a good. Maybe I'll do a Husbandry Pro video this week, just because they've done so many different changes. Right. Excuse me. They've done so many changes, and sorry, like a snake squeaked up against the tub, and it kind of spooked me.
It was going to bite your head. It would have been cool.
Well, it sounded like. It's just this weird dragging squeaky noise. It's like, whoo, it's like, what the hell?
I just saw you do this, and I was like, oh,
yeah. To cheer me. All right, I do have a confession. All right, let me finish that first thought, and now I'll go to the confession. But yeah, there's been so many different changes with Husbandry Pro, and especially the label designers, because they've got the new label designer, and maybe that's what I need to do is go through and do a new updated video on the label designer, because that's, to me, that's probably one of the most important things,
right?
Is that label, because I just pull that label off of the tub, take it to the show, and that way everybody can scan it.
I have done some of it, right? I still suck at it in the fact that once I print them, I go back and I'm like, what did I do? Right? Because then it's gone for me. And I'm in IT, so I feel like a complete moron. I'm like, okay, I know I can do this. Where is it? But it's a lot to it, but it's a great tool if you use it. And that's what I did all day today while I watched the football games. I set up my breeding, because my biggest problem is I write stuff down and then I go, wait a minute, where did I put that? So now, as I'm doing, I bought a little Chromebook for the basement and what I'm on now, and I bring it over and I did all my ultrasounding, I did all my pairing, I did whatever, and I put it all in, and now I'm done. So
No, sometimes I forget about that series, and that's my bad because like I promote it so much on the channel. I talk about it so much. I guess I figure that everybody's using it and knows how to use it. And I don't think about, not everybody does use it to its full potential or even half of its potential, or they don't catch the changes. They don't know that something's changed that makes it easier or better.
I'd even be if you're interested to collaborate on something with it, because I would love to learn more with it, because I'm just using it as I need, right? Like I not that I figured out breeding plans right now, but like I didn't know that once you have a breeding plan and then you could put it in the incubator and then you can create the animals after that, right? And I was like, oh my God, what's this? Create animals. I was like, oh, like instead of doing one at a time, I did all 8 with the same date and boom.
I was gonna say that in itself, like I always tell everybody, putting the initial animal input is the most painful part of the app.
Right.
After that, it is just you coast.
And that's where I felt because I don't know if you know this, Sebastian from Showcase runs the company that handled Clutch for Just.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
So when I went to Tinley and I was talking with Sebastian, they had like a showcase of Clutch, and there was this whole like mass import and then like an Excel spreadsheet, and I was like, I don't know, like it just seems like so much work when I have Husbandry Pro already, but I'm not really using Husbandry Pro, but I am using it a lot more this season. But like I said, for the things that I care about, like I don't care about, oh, I fed and this animal ate. I care about I fed and this animal didn't eat, and it hasn't eaten in 8 times.
Yeah.
Right? But that stuff I can't remember on like a little checkbox or a little tag it note or a 3M sticky note or whatever. And I don't want to do any of that. I want to do it all in the thing that I pay for, and I want to do it in not only in the way that I know it, but also the right way, and what is easier for me and what is also saving me time, not costing me more. So anything like that video-wise that will help people save time, I think is a bonus.
Okay. I will say this on that. And you're not the first person to say that, like, tracking feedings, like, they don't care about that because, you more want to worry about when they don't eat.
Right.
I try to tell people that I get it and it's a valid point, but also you got to think about what do your customers want. And a lot of times the biggest questions I've been asked was, when did it last eat? And them seeing those feedings, it's kind of like that peace of mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can do it real quick by just like each of my racks have a QR code. Just scan that, tap on each animal that ate, bulk feed it, and done.
1,000% I hear you. The thing that I'm going to go back to when somebody says, hey, when did it eat last? I just got it, right? I am going to know, hey, I fed Friday. It ate Friday, right? Like, and if it doesn't, I don't think I'm ever going to show no, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm ever going to show a client like, hey, here's its feeding record. I could, but again, I much rather worry about breeding plans, keeping stuff in an order, right? When I paired something last, when I ultrasounded last, what were they at, right? Where were they at now, right? That data means more to me than
that stuff's very important, yes.
Right, and I don't care about the feedings. I really don't, because I'll go outside and get another rat and come in and feed it, and I just fed it. I'm good, right? Like.
Exotic Dream Chasers wish they would fix the photo bug. Uploading photos is a pain in the ass. What photo bug? Because I just put photos in of a couple animals and there was no issue.
I can tell you, and I don't want to say I don't even use that, but I don't really use it. But I'll check it out.
I was gonna say, I didn't know that there was a photo bug. I know that they changed it so that way with the new design, or with how they've done the new setups for it. Before you would click on the photo, you would crop it through husbandry, and then that would be the photo. Now, if you want the photo cropped, you've got to do it before you even save it in the husbandry. You got to do it through your phone, then save it into your photo album, and then upload it. Maybe that's what you're talking about, Dream Chasers. I said I just uploaded a couple pictures, and like there was no issue at all.
Got it.
So yeah, reach out as well, Dream Chasers, if you do have questions or whatever. I mean, I can, reach out to Robert as well and or Zach and let them know maybe that there's an issue that they need to look into, or also put in a ticket there through the app. You can put it in a ticket and they'll examine what the issue is and see if it's their end. Maybe there's something in your settings that's kind of playing with some stuff.
And that's the one thing people should know too. Like, I understand people are really gracious and they don't want to yell and whatever. You're paying for a product. If it is not working for you, reach out to them and be like, hey, this is what's going on. They might ask you for specifics, but and knowing what I know about working in IT, put a ticket in, reach out, contact them on their website and tell them to get their stuff fixed if it's not working for you.
Yeah. And like Robert and them, like they're so freaking easy to work with. Like they honest to God care about all the users.
Cool.
So yeah, put in a ticket and see what they say. Just make them aware of the issue that's there at hand.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to Saturday. It's gonna be a good time.
Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Everybody also, other than now that you're going to be getting a Husbandry Pro video this week. Saturday is Oak's show. Come out, say hi. Come see some of the sales I'm going to be running. I'm not going to have everything on sale, but I will have a few animals on sale. Might even put a carpet or two on sale. We'll see. Cool. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyone that does want to snag a carpet, like I said, there's only 3 left. But yeah. And then this Sunday is the live sponsor auction with Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons.
Nice.
Come on out, watch the live, throw some money around. It should be a good. Honestly, I have no idea what Nathan's even going to put up. Who knows? With Nathan, the sky's the freaking limit sometimes. Like, he's got some killer stuff, and who knows? And I did hear another rumor that possibly there might be another sponsor that jumps in the auction atmosphere as well and throws some more animals up that they still have available.
Nice.
So it might be a multi-sponsor auction, which will just be freaking crazy and nuts, but it'll be fun.
Cool. Sounds good.
Brittany says, John, you'll actually meet Brian on Saturday.
Nice. That'd be cool.
No idea who Brian is, but sweet, Brittany, sweet. John, thank you again, bro, for hanging out. I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time. It was a blast, dude. It was a blast. I was looking forward to this.
It was a pleasure. Thank you again so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem, dude. Hang on one second. Everybody, thank you again for all the love and support. Make sure you guys come out Saturday, say hi, buy some animals from, even if it's not me, buy someone the gift of a snake from one of the channel sponsors. Go out and support the sponsors.
I like it.
But have an awesome rest of the week. Don't work too hard. If you work outside, stay warm in those mornings because it's been a little chilly in the mornings. But have an awesome rest of the week, folks. And I will see you Sunday at the latest. So take care. Have a good one. Later.